Hey guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in, coming back and watching. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, staying safe, taking care of yourselves, all those kind of things. And if you're new here, I'm Jim. Great to meet you. Thanks for stopping by. I make tutorial videos here every week showing you how I edit my photos using various software products. Today I'm in Luminar AI, and one of the things I've been experimenting with are the portrait tools. And while I do not take a lot of portraits, I know a lot of people do, and I want to make sure I share some content around that and some videos about how the tools work, so I'll continue to do that. But one of the cool innovations about Luminar AI is, of course, all the AI tools for portrait work, and I've been doing that on these individual portraits of folks, like a model doing this or a model doing that or whatever. But I started also thinking, I was like, well, how applicable are these AI tools to a group shot? Because let's be honest, there's plenty of times when you're taking photos of groups of people, not just an individual person. And so this video is testing the AI tools for portraits on a group portrait. So let me jump into that. And to be clear, the photos that I have here are not my photos. I downloaded them for free on a website called Unsplash. I will link to the individual folks that took each of these photos down below in case you want to check out their work on Unsplash. Let me show you. Here's the first one. This is obviously just like an advertisement for Windows, I guess, because she has a Windows XP sweater on, so apparently it's kind of an older photo, but it is a group shot and I thought it was applicable. So I'm going to start with Face AI, and Face Light is the first one, of course, and you'll see as I do this that it is picking up all the faces. Now, to be clear, I'm not actually going to show you how I fully edit any of these photos. I'm just going to walk through some of the tools and show you how they apply across a group portrait. So if you do that, you can see that the face light is being applied. I'm going to turn that off. There you go, a little bit darker faces, and on. It's recognizing every single face, which I think is cool. Slim face, let me try that. I think that seems to be working quite well as well. Again, I'm going to go to 100 just to, for demo purposes. So if I turn that off, there it is before, darker and a little bit wider, and there it is after, lighter and slimmer. Again, not how I would edit the photo, but I wanted to test this out. Let's try the eye iris. I'm just going to go blue because that's kind of simple. And most of the eyes are not visible, but I can see his eyes, and his eyes seem to have turned blue. So if I change or turn that off, I don't see the eyes changing in the other ones, but their eyes are not as visible. So that seems to be working. Enlarge eyes, I'm going to just do that. You can see that that's popped. This guy especially up front, and it looks like that gentleman in the back as well, which I find interesting because his eyes are, of course, shielded behind glasses. Now they're clear, so it's not like sunglasses, which you couldn't see through anyway. So the ladies, I'm checking them. Looks like her eyes have gotten a little bit bigger, but not that much, and everybody else seems to be about the same. Eye whitening, I suspect, is probably going to do something similar, and yeah, so you can see that this stuff is working. I'm going to go ahead and just drag saturation and redness all the way to the right. Again, this is a super exaggeration just to illustrate how it's being applied, but you can see it is being applied across everybody's mouth. So mouth, eyes, and face are working across this group in every case. So that's that. Let's try Skin AI. I'm just going to go ahead and smooth that all the way and take shine removal to 100. Let me zoom in. You can see these two gentlemen pretty clearly here. And there it is before, and there it is after, definitely working there. Let's scoot over to the ladies in the photo, and there it is before, and there it is after, definitely working quite well. I'm going to zoom back out and try Body AI. I don't know that this is going to work, but if I go to the right, yeah, it's kind of distorting the photo a little bit. I mean, her head's gotten, that's totally not really working. So I'm going to skip that because I don't think abdomen's going to work either. Yeah, that's kind of shrinking her face. It's trying to pick up the abdomen of this lady in the back, but it's really just getting the face of this lady in the front. So not working there, but as far as the face editing, eyes, face, skin, lips, mouth, all that kind of stuff seems to be working quite well. Let me get another photo and try that. Now this photo I got for the reason that may be obvious, which is not just because it's a group portrait, but because all the faces are sideways. So to me, I was trying to trick the AI and say, hey, I'm confusing you. Sure, they're human eyes, but they're crooked, and there's three of them, and they're, one's placed one way and then the other, and that sort of thing. So let's try it out. I'm going to do Face AI, and working great. You can see that is lightening up those faces. Slim face, let's try that. Working pretty okay. It's not amazing, but I would say it looks like it's working on the one in the center and the one on the bottom. The one on the top, I'm going to do face light back to 100. The one on the top doesn't it seems like it's getting a little distorted by the one's left cheek, the top side of the one in the middle. So I'm going to hit reset on those. I'm going to try blue eyes again just because it's going to stand out the most, and everybody has blue eyes, so it immediately found those. So that means enlarging eyes, eye whitening, all that is going to work just fine. You can see the difference before and after. Again, none of this is realistic. This is not how I recommend editing the photos. I'm not making any commentary about that. I'm just trying to figure out, will AI pick up multiple faces in a photo, even when they're tilted or at odd angles, and recognize them? And the answer seems to be yes. So lips, I'm going to go ahead and just move that all the way to the right as well. It's picking it up just fine. I'm going to hit reset on the face AI, close that. Let's go to skin, and I'm going to say amount all the way and shine. And let me zoom in a little bit, and we'll just focus on these two at the bottom for now. So there it is, turning that off. There's before and after. Definitely seems to have picked that up. And now the top one, there it is, before and after. Yeah, absolutely working and picking that up. There's no bodies in this photo, so I'm going to skip body AI, but face AI and skin AI, absolutely picking it up, even with 3 faces tilted at odd angles. I'm going to go get a bigger group shot and show you another example. And here we go, the third and final example. So just obviously a bunch of kids here. Let's try face AI and see how well this works across this huge group of kids. And you can see that face lightning is picking up. Even kids in the back where they're kind of partially obscured, you can see his face is lighting up a little bit. His face and his face, they're all lighting up a little bit. Now, to be clear, it's probably not perfect, and it's probably not exactly what you would do, but it's working and recognizing the faces. So this is more of an AI test versus here's how you should edit the photo. Let me try slim face because there's so many faces here. I wonder if it'll get confused, but not really. It seems to be working. In fact, I'm just going to go to 100. Let me turn this off so we can look at all of these faces at the same time. There it is before. They're a little darker, less light on them, and normal width. And here they are, slimmed and brightened. So it is picking up all those faces quite well. While we're at it, let's just change their eyes to blue and just see how that works. And yeah, we've got blue eyes across just about all these kids, even that one in the back, that one. Now, some of the eyes look a little too intense, and obviously blue eyes would not necessarily occur in a person with this complexion and that sort of thing, I don't think. So the point is the iris replacement is working. In other words, the AI is recognizing the faces. So one obvious question may be, hey Jim, I see all these faces here, but I want to apply a different amount of AI to different faces. I don't want the same edits applying to every single face. How do I do that? Well, the answer is today you cannot. So I posed that same question to the Skyloom team and said, hey, here's some feedback. If I've got a group portrait, maybe I don't want the face AI or skin AI applying to every person in the photo. Maybe I want to apply it selectively. How do I do that? And today you cannot. But so having given that feedback to them, they did not tell me what they're doing about it or if they're doing anything. My opinion is they're going to do something at some point simply because I know they want to make Luminar AI as amazing as possible. And that's a key thing that would address the needs of portrait photographers. So no idea what's going to happen. I feel like they will probably address that in the future. We'll find out. But I wanted to point that out, that that's an obvious thing that you're probably going to ask. And today, we don't have an answer to it. So while I'm at it, I'm going to go over here to Skin AI as well and just try some skin smoothing on these gentlemen and shine removal as well. Let me turn this off. There you go. There's before. You can see it. In fact, let me zoom in. That'll help a little bit. There's before and there's after. So again, I went way too much. 100 is overdone, but you can see it is applying to all of these kids' faces. And so literally the AI is recognizing multiple faces, even this many. I don't know how many faces there are in this, but I'm going to count like at least 10 or so. It's recognizing the majority of them in this large group photo and allowing the AI is able to pick up all the different faces, the eyes, the mouth, the skin, that sort of thing, and apply its edits across this entire group. So group portraits is a thing in Luminar AI. It will work. You've got the ability to adjust all these faces in a group with the amazing portrait AI tools in Luminar AI. Again, if you want to adjust them individually, we don't know how we're going to do that in the future. I'm hopeful and have my fingers crossed that something will be done about that. But in the meantime, I just wanted to let you know, after having tested multiple group photos, I thought these were good examples of how the AI will work for you in a group portrait. Hope it gives you some ideas about what's coming. and you'll have it soon, December 15th, my friends. So thanks again for watching. I'll be talking to you soon. I'll be back with more tutorial videos. You guys take care of yourselves out there, and adios.